Be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
William O'Neill.
All right, you may proceed.
Mr. O'Neill, how are you presently employed?
With SAPD,
How long have you been employed with SAPD?
7 years.
What have been your duties over the past 7 years with SAPD?
Patrol. Start off with patrol, then went to bike patrol, and now currently a detective with the property crimes.
Are you a certified peace officer?
Yes, ma'am.
What education and training is required to become a certified peace officer?
Excuse me, Judge, will stipulate to this witness's expertise as a San Antonio officer.
All right, state you may proceed. They're saying that they will stipulate.
Yes, sir. Were you on duty on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in uniform?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in a marked patrol car?
At that time, yes, ma'am.
Were you patrolling alone on February 2nd, 2025?
Don't believe so.
Do you recall who was with you?
I believe it was Officer Corpus.
So on February 2nd, 2025, what unit were you on?
I was on bike patrol.
What duties are you responsible for being bike patrol? What do y'all do?
We handle calls that come in. We walk around or ride around downtown to help and assist the public. I mean, it's a variety of different things we do.
In what, I guess, what area of San Antonio does bike patrol cover?
A portion of downtown.
What shift were you working on February 2nd, 2025?
Daylight.
What are the hours of daylight?
I believe it's 7:30 to 5:30.
Is that AM to PM?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the case under SAPE 250211726?
Yes, ma'am.
What case is that?
In regards to what's taking place today, I believe it was a call for a welfare check.
Do you recall approximately what time that welfare check call came in?
No, ma'am, I don't. Sometime in the morning. I don't know the approximate time. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes as states exhibit 4. This is the key card. If you'll refresh your memory and let me know when you're ready.
And we're just looking at the time.
Yes, sir.
So it looks like this call came in based on the IDR at 8:37 on February the 2nd of 2025.
And you said 8:37. Is that in the morning or the afternoon or evening?
That's in the morning.
Do you recall where you were dispatched to?
I believe it was.
I'm sorry.
Or actually it sounded like, I think the parking lot.
Excuse me, could you repeat your last answer? I didn't hear it. Did you say the mall?
Correct. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you.
And what did the call notes state other than a welfare check? Did it provide additional information as to who you're looking for?
I believe it was an individual in all black on top of the parking lot, standing on the edge of some sort.
And when you say parking lot, is that a parking lot that's on the ground level or is it a parking garage?
It's a parking garage.
Where did you go once you arrived to that location?
I drove up in the patrol vehicle, drove up the parking garage to the top floor.
What did you observe when you arrived to the top floor?
I didn't see anything.
Did you stay in your vehicle or did you exit the patrol unit?
I exited the patrol vehicle to look around.
Okay, when you looked around, did you make any observations?
Didn't see anything, and then once we got to the edge of the wall, we looked down and we saw that the individual was being detained by other officers.
As a part of this call, did you ever make contact with anyone by the name of Fabian Singh?
Once we drove back down to where other officers and Fabian, seeing the defendant, was on the street level.
At any point during your conversations with Mr. Singh, did he admit to being at the edge of the parking garage to you?
I don't recall.
Do you recall what he said he was doing at the parking garage?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Were you equipped with body worn camera on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, was it operational?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a fair and accurate description of the events on that day?
I believe so.
Your Honor, at this time, state would move to admit what has been marked as State's Exhibit 1 for the purposes of this hearing.
The defense has no objection, Your Honor.
All right, State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted without objection.
To the public,
Granted, and I'm sorry, for the record, what is State's Exhibit number 1?
it is Officer O'Neill's body worn.
All right, thank you. Okay. Is it are the cards attached? Because sometimes when attorneys sit there, they take the cords out.
Hey, he's down there. Yeah. Yeah, that's him.
Down there, were you referring to the suspect wearing all black?
Yes, ma'am.
The new State's Exhibit.
I was trying to find it. How old are you?
Officer O'Neill, did you ever ask Mr. Singh whether he intended to jump off the parking garage?
I believe I did.
Do you recall what he stated?
I think he said no, he wasn't.
And as stated earlier, you did inquire as to what his purpose was for being at the toxic parking garage, correct?
I believe so.
Resuming state's exhibit.
What's your whole reason for being up there? Yeah, up there, I'm fine, basically. And because of that, that's not like, hey, I'm up here. If I were to do this, essentially, I mean, I showed. It's my day off today, I'm downtown, and I'm really working. I'm students, so we're down here. So, just, otherwise, it's my attention. And it's not really much up there. I'm not friend, not here. I'll just wait for the time being. No, it's an interest, center. There. Sitting out there on the edge. That was if you better fell. No, I'm recognized that one. That's a good one. That's what you said. Well, I mean, you know, see you up there, we have people that you go up there and jump off. I go, yeah. That's what I think. I just sit there and I read the papers, I like looking at it too, it's like this city's. Nice, tired with. But. That's what I'm saying. Well, I don't have no about my sister. Always your sister. Like 25. What's your number? I'm her name. So. I don't really know. Yeah, not what it's called. What's your mom's name? I don't know. I don't know. You can't get like I remember my sister coming in and saying.
When you contacted Mr. Singh, did you ask him if he had anything to drink?
I believe I did.
Do you recall what he stated?
I think he's. No, ma'am, I don't recall.
Give me.
Drink anything? Huh? Drink anything? You smoke anything? Less than you. It's less than use. I use what? Now I'm from New York. Had big thing. My new job. So after it was over. You know. And now some daughters who they drug test. I don't know what's getting me to the job or drug test.
When you made contact with Mr. Singh, did you observe the smell of alcohol emitted from him?
I do not recall.
Do you recall whether any alcoholic substances were recovered from Mr. Singh?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind?
I believe it was twisted tea.
And do you recall Mr. Singh's age?
17 or 18.
What is the legal drinking age in Texas?
21.
So Mr. Singh was less than 21, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Was Mr. Singh ultimately arrested on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
What?
Minor in possession of alcohol, and then the THC.
As a result of the arrest on February 2nd, was Mr. Singh searched?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there any findings of that search?
Yes, ma'am. They found more of the alcohol, along with they found vape pens.
Do you recall where Mr. Singh stated he got the vape pens or alcohol?
But here you say you got it from the corner store.
I passed it.
All right, defense.
Yes, good afternoon, Officer McNeil. How many reports did you make regarding this incident?
Regarding this incident, one, I believe.
When you arrived at the sidewalk after coming down the parking garage, what did you see?
Can you be more detailed?
Sure. Where was the defendant?
The defendant, I believe, was on the curbside with other officers.
At that point, was he in handcuffs?
I don't recall, but looking at the video, he was,
So is that yes, he was in cuffs?
according to the video.
What was your understanding of why he was in handcuffs?
I mean, at that point in time, wasn't real for sure.
Do you recall at what point the defendant was under arrest?
No, ma'am.
Your body starting at 11:46.
I found out something good. I'm see right here, something trying to fight me. I grabbed that. I shared another contest. Another contest. He just tried to attack me, so I just. Yeah, that. That's all I'm looking for. That's what you're back.
Stop at 13:10. Did you ask the defendant if you could search his bag?
According to the video, yes.
Why did you feel it necessary to search his bag?
To see what else he had. And at that time, I believe he gave asked him, he gave consent, verbal consent.
So you asked him to give consent to search it just to see what else you could find in the bag?
I'm sorry, did you say beg?
You asked his consent to search his bag just because you wanted to see what else was in it?
Well, see if there's any weapons or anything.
What?
Just to do a thorough search. To do a thorough search.
Why?
Well, again, to see for the safety and protection of all and everyone there. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any kind of weapons.
Well, the defendant was in handcuffs, correct?
Correct.
And he wasn't holding the backpack, correct?
Correct.
So what danger was there to anyone if he was in handcuffs and he wasn't holding or touching his backpack?
Again, he gave verbal consent.
My question is, you say.
Well, it's for the safety of anyone and everyone. I mean, there's heavy populated, it's a mall, anybody at any time. Just again, it's for the safety and protection of everybody there.
How would they not be safe? Something that might be in that backpack if he's in handcuffs and is not holding the backpack.
It's not just about him. It's about everyone's safety and protection.
Everyone's safety from what?
From what? Again, not knowing what was in that backpack, I wanted to clear it for everyone's safety and protection.
Did you discern some type of?
Based on my past training and experience, there have been times where we've looked and there's been weapons, knives, different things. So again, for everyone's safety and protection, I wanted it to make it safe for everyone.
What made you determine that it might not be safe if it was just sitting?
Again, ma'am, based on my training and experience, I wanted to make it safe for everyone.
So there wasn't anything that stood out as to why there might be something unsafe in that bag?
Don't know. Again, that's why it was a search, and that's why I asked for his permission, and he gave me verbal consent to search it.
But at the time you asked for his consent, there was nothing suspicious about that bag, was there?
Again, for everyone's safety and protection, it was searched.
The question is, there was nothing suspicious about that bag, was there?
He did have he did have a pair of cutters.
You know that?
You can see it in the video.
Well, there's a pair of cutters on the street, right?
Correct.
They're not near where he's sitting. He can't reach them, can he?
Well, if he wanted to at any time, he could get up. We've had people have done that.
About this situation.
Okay, he could, if he wanted to, he could have got up.
About the bag.
Okay,
Again, my question is, there was nothing suspicious about that bag, was there?
what do you mean by suspicious?
Anything that would lead you to believe there might be a weapon in that bag?
Well, we search their property.
Was there anything suspicious about that bag that would lead you to believe there might be a weapon in it just by observing it where it was sitting?
Again, to answer your question,
You're not answering my question.
yes, I am.
What was suspicious?
People have things on them. We don't know until we look. And again, he gave verbal consent. If he didn't give verbal consent, that's one thing, but he gave me verbal consent to search his bag because I asked him and he said yes.
Just answer my question. You know what the word suspicious means?
Again,
No, sir. Yes or no? Do you know what the word suspicious means?
well, apparently I don't. To you. Because you're not
a
good.
police 7 years and you don't know what the word suspicious means? Yes or no?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
What does it mean?
Well, I can't give you an accurate definition.
What does it mean to you, sir?
What does it mean to me when someone is acting suspicious, when they're doing things that are not right, they're hiding stuff, their stories are not correct, they're going from one story to another, and how they're trying to explain things when we ask them questions. When things just don't add up, and and then we go based on also the totality of the circumstances.
Well, the bag itself wasn't acting suspicious, was it?
The bag is not a person.
So it wasn't acting suspicious.
And again, he gave me verbal consent to search the bag. So then we should drop it right there because he gave me verbal consent.
My original question was, why did you want to search the bag?
And I've already explained it to you.
And my next question is still why? And you stated a few things. And then my question was there anything suspicious about the bag?
He did have alcohol on him. He was a minor. His stories were changing. He had that cutter on him, or did. So again, the totality of the circumstances based on his statements and what was already found on him with the alcohol, it gave me reasonable suspicion to check his bag on top of, for everyone's safety and protection, and then ending it with him giving me verbal consent to search the bag.
And how did his story change?
Well, when you asked him about his mom, he said, or to call his mom, then when asked, I believe, didn't know who his mom was or number.
Didn't know who his mom was?
You can play it, but
Are you saying that was in this video?
I believe so. Because when I asked him about his mom, then his story would change about his mom. Then when asked about his sister, then the story changed about his sister. So his stories about his family kept changing. So there was inconsistency in what he was saying.
Okay, that's what you're saying, but what is the inconsistency specifically?
Again, his statements.
Specifically what?
Well, about his mom, about his sister.
Okay, what about his mom was inconsistent?
Well, again, he went from saying you can call my mom to, I believe it was, he didn't know who her name or something, phone number.
So you believe the defendant said he didn't know his mom's name?
I may not be saying that correctly, but we can go back and play in the video and review it.
It's not an inconsistency, is it? Just a statement that even if he did say he didn't know his mom's name, that's not an inconsistency, is it?
Well, when you say, I believe he said he did, and then he said he didn't, going back and forth. So he was some confusion
So now.
of what he was wanting of his statements.
So now you say first he knew his mom's name and then he didn't know his mom's name?
That my understanding. I don't know exactly, but we can go back and play the video to better understand.
I'm asking you. You were there,
And
right?
I'm telling you, I don't recall everything. It's been a while since this happened. That's why we have the video to go back and replay it to get a better understanding.
What else was inconsistent about his statements?
I don't recall. What else? Again, we could go back and watch the video and see more.
At what point was the defendant under arrest?
Again, I don't recall. The video, you can go back and we can play the video and see that.
Officer McNeil, I'm showing you what's been marked as defense exhibit number
I
one.
accidentally knocked that thing.
I'm sorry?
That clip, I accidentally knocked it. Yeah, it fell off. The clips.
Is it on the board?
Is it okay to get? It's right here. Sorry. I'm sorry, your question again?
Showing you what's been marked as defendant's exhibit number one. You recognize that document?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's a police report.
Whose police report is it?
It is mine.
Now, you claim that you saw the defendant while he was up on the top of the garage?
If that's in my report,
You don't remember, you can use your report to refresh your memory.
in here it says police officers saw S1 leaning over the building wall.
Did you ever see anything in the defendant's hands when he was up? Sorry, read that. He drove up to the top of the parking lot, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you drove up, did you see the defendant on top of the garage roof?
No, I did not.
I'm sorry, did you complete your sentence?
Correct. Yes, ma'am, I did.
The prosecutor played the video. Do you recall watching where you asked the defendant if he had anything to drink?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you happen to see what time that was?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Trust me that it was at 8:48 a.m.
I mean, if that's what you're saying.
What was your understanding of what the officers who were there before you got there had found on the defendant's person?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding your question.
Let me just back up a little bit. The defendant was already in handcuffs and sitting on the curb when you arrived, correct?
If that's what you're saying, yes.
Well, I don't want you to just say what I'm saying. I want you to say what you recall happened that day. Now, do you recall the defendant where he was when you arrived at the scene?
I don't recall because it's been a while, but based on the video, yes, he was sitting on the curb.
Have you reasons to doubt what you saw in the video is incorrect?
Just from what I can see, no, ma'am.
So then we can agree that when you arrived at the scene, the defendant was sitting on the curb in handcuffs, correct?
Well, what scene are you talking about? Because there was two different scenes.
You arrived at the scene. According to the video, the defendant was sitting down on the curb, handcuffed.
Well, again, the actual scene was up at the top of the parking garage.
Okay. When you arrived at the location where the defendant was on the sidewalk, you called the defendant sitting on the curb in handcuffs.
Based on the video, yes. From what the video is showing me.
At that point, when you arrived at the sidewalk where the defendant was sitting, what items had the officers already found on the defendant's person?
If I'm recalling correctly, it was the alcohol.
Which alcohol?
It was Arizona teas.
Perhaps.
If I can remember correctly, I think one was found in his jacket, in the front part of his jacket. But again, I wasn't there when all that was found, so
I'm just trying to distinguish it between what may have been found in the backpack. So prior to arrival, did you see any alcohol?
I don't recall.
You know if the officers that were there before you got there found any other items on the defendant's person?
I don't recall.
I believe you stated you don't know or you don't remember at what point the defendant was arrested. Is that correct? That's correct.
Sustained.
Do you know what the defendant was arrested for?
I thought we already answered that question.
Pardon?
I thought we already answered that question. For minor in possession and for the THC.
Have you ever arrested anyone for minor possession?
I believe I have. I said, I believe I have.
Sustained.
The defendant didn't have any appearance of being intoxicated.
I don't recall.
When you write a report, officer, do you put everything that's important in that report?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you kindly review the report and see if you mentioned anything in there about the defendant's appearance to be that he's intoxicated?
Do you want me to read it to you?
Right?
I was informed of it, as it states in my report.
Sir, my question is, did you observe the defendant to have any symptoms of being intoxicated?
I don't recall.
If you had, wouldn't that be something that should have been in your report?
That'll be overruled. You can answer if it's in your report or not.
What? I was informed by other officers that he.
Question. Did you personally observe any signs that the defendant was intoxicated? He has not answered the question.
All right, so this is what I want everyone to do. Questions can be asked. Once an objection is made, just stop speaking and I'll rule
Yes,
on
ma'am.
the
Sorry.
objection. And I only rule if somebody makes an objection. So this is what I want. Ask your question.
Did you see any signs that the defendant was intoxicated?
And again, I don't recall.
All right, next question.
Is that something that you would have written in your report if he had appeared intoxicated?
I went based on what I was informed of.
I'm asking you about your observations. If you observed the defendant to have signs of being intoxicated, would that be something that you would put in your report?
Whether I observed it or someone else, I would write that in my report.
Agree with me that there's nothing in your report that indicates you observed the defendant with signs of intoxication.
Correct, but there was more than just I out there.
All I want. And what is the penalty for a minor possession charge?
It can be a couple of different things. I mean, he can be arrested for it. He can be cited for it.
What level offense is it?
I believe it's a misdemeanor. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't recall.
Do you know what the penalty is for a Class C misdemeanor?
No, it could range.
Pardon?
It could range. Don't know. Again, I said I don't know.
Do you know if a Class C misdemeanor is punishable by incarceration?
It can be.
Under what circumstances?
Under what circumstances?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it depends on the situation.
Such as?
Depending on what the situation is.
Well, what are the different situations?
I don't know. There's all different kinds of Class C misdemeanors.
I'm asking you about a minor in possession. Is that punishable by incarceration?
It depends on the judge when they go and see the judge and whether or not how they want to handle it.
Is a speeding ticket punishable by incarceration?
It can be.
If an offense is punishable only by a fine, is that something that you would arrest somebody for?
It depends on the situation.
Under what circumstances would you arrest somebody for an offense that was only punishable by a fine?
And that's an open-ended question.
So, what is your answer?
It's hard to answer an open-ended question.
Well, generally, those are the only types of questions I ask. So, under what circumstances would you arrest somebody for an offense that was only punishable with time.
Again, it based on the circumstances.
Few follow-up questions, Officer O'Neill. You weren't the first officer to make contact with Mr. Singh. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. But you knew he was a minor in possession of alcohol, right?
Yes,
So the backpack may have contained additional evidence of that minor being in possession. Is that correct?
Objection to believe.
Sustained.
Okay. Did that backpack in fact contain additional evidence of minor in possession?
yes,
Y'all talked about inconsistencies quite a bit. Was the inconsistency regarding where the defendant lives?
possibly, yes.
No further questions, sir. Nothing further, Judge.
Is this officer excused?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so
Yes,
much.
ma'am, thank you.
If you'll make sure you move the little square,
Yes, ma'am.
it's for the
'Cause
court.
you know, I would have accidentally took off.
Yes, that has happened before, but we've been able to chase people down the hallway. All right, state, call your next witness.
Yes, Judge. State calls Officer Grant Ruderman.
Thank you. Could you put that little square microphone on you?
Oh, this one?
Yes, it's for the court reporter to be able to hear.
Okay. Right. Is that good?
All right, yes.
Okay.
Could you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Officer Grant Ruderman.
All right, you may proceed.
Officer Ruderman, how are you presently employed?
With the San Antonio Police Department.
What have been your positions with the San Antonio?
I've been on patrol as an officer, and then right now I'm on patrol for the bike patrol unit.
Were you on duty on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
In uniform?
Yes, ma'am.
When you say bike patrol, do y'all get around on bikes or is it bike foot?
By foot on bikes, then we also have vehicles.
Were you patrolling alone on February 2nd, 2025?
No, I was not.
Who was with you?
Immediately with me was Officer Silva. We take calls together. But that particular day, yeah, we were just together when the call came out.
So when you were patrolling on bike patrol, what duties are you responsible for?
The immediate downtown area to include anything with calls that come in, also proactivity, just basically anything in regards to policing in the downtown area.
Crime is prevalent in that patrol district.
Yeah, everything, you name it. There's shootings, stabbings, thefts, suicides, just basically anything that you could think of or what you see on the news is what happens in the downtown area.
Are you familiar with the case under SA number 25021726?
Yes, ma'am.
What case is that?
The case that we're discussing right now.
In this case?
I was dispatched to the case, or well, I heard it over the radio.
And so you heard it over the radio, and are you able to self-assign to calls? Is that what happened here?
Yes, you can. If you're within the area, you're able to self-assign, or they could dispatch you.
What was the situation here?
I believe when it came out over the radio, we ended up self-assigning ourselves to the area
Why would you self-assign?
because we're close by.
Do you recall what the dispatch came out as?
I believe it was a welfare check.
What is a welfare?
It could be anything. It could be something checking on somebody to wake them up. Also, too, it could be checking on someone with their mental status in the downtown area, especially in the particular area that we were in. We have a lot of suicides there as well. So yeah, welfare check could basically anything.
Do you where you were?
Yeah, 849 East Commerce, which is the parking garage to the mall, the River Center Mall.
Do you recall whether the dispatch notes gave you information regarding who you were looking for?
Yeah, they gave a description. Male wearing all black.
When you neared 849 East Commerce, did you observe somebody in all black as the dispatch note stated?
Yes, ma'am.
Where was this person when you first saw them?
On the top of the roof of the parking garage.
Did that individual ever move from the top of the parking garage?
Yeah, because we couldn't see him anymore as we approached.
Approximately how far away from that location, 849 East Commerce, were you when you first observed this individual?
Probably about a block, but it's a longer block, but within visual distance.
So by the time you arrived to the exterior of the parking garage, where was this individual in all black?
On the ground level.
Did you observe anything about this individual?
Yeah, he met the description that was given out, and he ended up placing an item in the trash can right before we ended up contacting him.
At this time, did you believe you had reasonable suspicion justifying your stop of this individual?
Yes.
What did you base that determination on?
He met the description. He also, with the items that he was placing in the trash can, and then also to just based on the type of call that came out.
When you made contact with this individual, did you identify them by name and date of birth?
Yes.
Do you recall the name provided to you?
It was Fabian, I believe.
Did you, or was Mr. Singh detained at any point?
Yes, he was. He was placed in handcuffs. Yes.
Why was he?
He was detained immediately right upon arrival just because of the circumstance of the call. He also placed an item in the trash can, and then also too for his safety and for our safety while we're completing the investigation, especially for a welfare check. He was detained, and in all honesty, when I was approaching, for me, I thought it was going to be some type of mental health disturbance or mental health disturbance to where he needed to be placed in handcuffs for everybody's safety.
Do you recall Mr. Singh's date or his age?
No, I do not.
When you made contact with him, did you make any observations about him other than the black outfit?
I know that after he was detained, or when we were trying to detain him, that he was kind of passive resistive, didn't want to be detained. He also had, after being detained, he had, I guess, alcohol that fell out of him or whatnot. But other than that, no, I don't recall anything else.
Observing the smell of alcohol emitting from Mr. Singh?
For me, not immediately, no. But I didn't have that much interaction with him other than detaining him and then getting his information. And then at that time, I was just running him on the radio system. So I didn't really have as much interaction as other officers on scene did.
Were you equipped with body worn camera on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, was it operational?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the events that occurred on that date?
It should be, yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, Judge State would move to admit what's been marked as State's Exhibit 2 into evidence for the purposes. The defense has no objection.
Also, Nate, just to roll up right over here, so if he does come back, you can see him, you know? Wait, so now. Tie up the radio.
Officer Ruderman, we see you with your cellular device. Who are you talking to?
Nate, that's Officer Nathan Mejia. He was another officer working in the downtown area bike patrol. I believe so, yes.
Hey, are you rolling up over here in the wagon? Okay, hey, we're gonna go walk in and go see, if we can see this guy. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. That's fine, back real quick, we'll figure it out. Okay. Just want to figure it out. Hey man, stop resisting, man. Yeah, you are. Stop resisting, man. We're here to help you. We're here to yeah, so we don't have to pull tight if you don't pull away from us. We're just here to talk to you and figure out what we're doing. We're getting calls for you. We saw you up there on the ledge. So we're just trying to figure out what we got. Yeah, what you plan to do. We have window change right now. We're gonna be right here at my yard house. What's going on, then? Do we have any carrying on you? What's your name? Yeah, let me write that down real quick, Damien. What's your last name, Damien?
Why are you doing it this way?
Spell your first name, Damien? Fabian. Oh, Fabian. Spell your last name? I-N-G. Sing. What's your date of birth, Fabian? 10 what?
Officer Ruderman, if Mr. Singh was born in 2006 and this occurred in 2025, how old would that make him?
18, 19 is 2006, then 2025. So yeah, 19. Yeah.
Did you observe what was pulled out of his sweatshirt pocket?
It was a beer.
So,
Well, a twisted tea.
so if Mr. Singh is 19, he's younger than the age he is allowed to legally drink in the state of Texas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall what Mr. Singh stated he was doing at the parking garage?
No, I don't remember what. I think he just said that he was trying to figure out too what he was doing. I don't even know.
Did you observe what item was recovered from the trash can?
Yeah, it looked like some type of like shears or cutters or whatnot.
Based on your involvement in this case, at any time did Mr. Singh admit to having those in his possession?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Mr. Singh inform y'all how he obtained the alcoholic beverage he had?
I don't remember that as far as the alcoholic beverage. How do you got them?
Defense?
Officer Ruderman, did you write any reports based on this incident?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Well, your department policy requires you to write a report whenever anybody is arrested, isn't that correct?
Usually on felonies, yes, ma'am.
This was a felony arrest, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Why didn't you write a report, sir?
Because I didn't know it was a felony at the time, ma'am. I wasn't relayed that information on what kind of report it was going to be, so I didn't write a supplement.
Don't you think it's part of your job to find that out?
Yeah, if it's relayed to me, yes, ma'am.
You had the ability to contact the arresting officers to determine what the final arrest was, correct?
I could have, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you?
Because they didn't contact me either. So,
This is your obligation, isn't it?
if he notified me that it was a felony, yes, ma'am, I would have had to write a supplement. But since I wasn't notified that it was a felony, in my from I guess this incident, especially going up to it, I was looking at it as that he was probably going to a welfare check, that he was possibly going to be committing suicide, because it happens all the time, frequently from that actual parking garage.
So do you know what the defendant was arrested for?
Now at the time, yes. At this time, I do.
What was he arrested for?
Some type of drug charge.
Arrested for-
I think he also had a charge of minor in possession of alcohol.
Now, the defendant, when you first approached him, what was he doing?
He was just getting out of the parking garage.
What was your impression of him?
That he met the description of what was given out on the radio, and the same description as I observed of the individual on the peeking over the ledge of the parking garage.
And according to the incident detail report, the defendant did not appear to be wanting to jump. Isn't that right?
I'm not sure, ma'am, because I don't have the report, and we're on foot, so we don't have any of that information available to us.
Well, how did you learn his description?
Over the radio.
So you didn't receive any information that the defendant did not appear to be wanting to jump?
And not to my knowledge, no, ma'am.
The defendant never tried to run, did he?
No.
There was no indication that he was dangerous, was there, by observing him?
I guess in perspective, I guess he did pull away when we just wanted to talk to him. He also had those cutters or shears or whatnot. You could look at that as a type of weapon and say that that could be a possible threat of danger. So
When you got to him, he had put that weapon in the trash, correct?
yes, ma'am, he put it down.
So based on that, he wasn't dangerous because of that, right?
Well, that also is perspective. I mean, you always could grab it out of the trash can again, especially when you're pulling away from officers when they're trying to detain you.
When you immediately grabbed his arms, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am. And that's all. That's only for our safety and also for their safety as well.
Overrule.
The defendant wasn't aware. You didn't make the defendant aware at any time why you were there or why you were detaining him prior to you putting hands on him, did you?
Well, he already knows we're in full police uniform and that we were contacting him and just to put his hands behind his back. And on the video too, I also stated that we're just trying to figure out the investigation, because he also met the description of someone that we could replay it. Yes, ma'am.
Did not the defendant, prior to putting hands on him, why you were there, did you?
Well, it just depends on what would you like for me to say? I mean, I was informing him as we were putting on the handcuffs that we're detaining him because we were trying to figure out an investigation.
So if it's not unreasonable to pull away or be concerned about why you're being handcuffed if you hadn't notified him what this was about, right?
Well, I guess it just depends on the person. Because for me, a reasonable person would see a police officer and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to cooperate. Yeah, typically.
You don't think that somebody might be a little confused?
Well, usually it just really depends on the situation.
Somebody who doesn't believe they've done anything wrong would be a little confused, right?
But also someone that doesn't think they did anything wrong could also cooperate.
But that's not reality, is it?
It depends on what reality is.
He didn't try to get away from you, did he?
Well, he didn't run, if that's what you're asking.
Tried to pull away as you were handcuffing him, did he?
Well, he was passive resistive.
What's that?
That means that he's not cooperating as far as if you tried to grab my arm and if I hold it and tense up and not cooperate and not putting it behind my back, that's passive resistive.
So the fact that he tensed up is resisting?
Yeah, and that he's not cooperating. Yes, ma'am.
Well, you never strike that. Well, and so he was already on the sidewalk when you arrived, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So did it appear to you that he was gonna hurt himself at that point?
Well, we're just trying to figure out what was going on, so we're just still completing our investigation. But in reality, in all honesty, we're just detaining him because of the type of call that came out, a welfare check. And then also, if you look up that address, we've had a lot of people that has had mental health episodes. And usually during a mental health episodes, it's really things can go either which way. So it's really easy to just handcuff someone and figure it out because just as fast as the handcuffs go on, they could come off. Okay.
He was on the ground, he was on the sidewalk, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he make any movement that would suggest to you he was at that moment gonna hurt himself? Yes or no?
I guess not.
And in fact, he never hurt himself while you were at the scene, correct?
No.
And he never tried to get those cutters out of the garbage, did he?
Well, he didn't have the opportunity because we ended up detaining him.
Was there any way that he could have got at those cutters once he was detained and put into handcuffs?
Well, detained and put into handcuffs, the probability of him doing that, no.
So why did you pat him down then?
I didn't pat him down.
Did another officer pat him down?
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you know which officer it was?
I believe it was Officer Silva.
And when you saw the defendant as you crossed the street, he hadn't committed a crime, had he?
No, it's not a crime to. No, no. Not that we observed at that time, particular time.
Did you not observe him commit a crime? But you had no information that he had committed a crime, had you?
Not so much a crime, no, ma'am.
The defendant stated that he wasn't trying to commit suicide, correct?
I don't remember that, but if it's on the body cam, but possibly.
you ever, once you detained him, consider taking him for a mental health evaluation anywhere?
Well, at the time he was detained, what I ended up doing was just getting his information and just running him and making sure, verifying that his information was correct. At least that was just my part of it. The handling officer, which was Officer O'Neill, ended up completing the investigation and making the determination of what I guess happened to Mr. Sign.
I understand that, but you testified earlier that you thought that this was a mental health disturbance, right?
Yes, ma'am. When the call initially came out, yes, ma'am.
Once you had the defendant in handcuffs,
Mhm.
did it continue to be a mental health situation for you?
No, it didn't seem that way.
And do you know whether you became aware of his age before or after alcohol was found to be in his possession?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I wasn't aware of his age, other than just getting his date of birth to run him. Oh, yes, ma'am, it would.
You mentioned that you believe the defendant was arrested for possessing alcohol, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What level of offense is a minor in possession?
I'm not too sure. I think it's a misdemeanor.
What level misdemeanor?
I'm not too sure. I'd have to reference that and look it up.
You arrest someone for a Class C violation?
All the time, yes, ma'am, in the downtown area.
What Class C violation do you arrest for?
We have public intoxication. We'll have camping in public. We'll have just basically all the ordinance violations in the downtown area. Uh, we have to ask our supervisors, but basically we have the authorization to arrest for a Class C. Yes, ma'am.
The defendant didn't appear to be intoxicated, did he?
I'm not too sure. Like I told the other lady right here is that I had very limited interaction with him other than the very beginning and then getting his information and running his information.
You didn't observe any physical symptoms of intoxication, did you?
With like I said, I had limited interaction, so I didn't have any. I can't remember any of if there was any observations of that. No.
How long were you at that location with the defendant?
I'm not too sure. I would have to see with the body camera, but I'm guessing not that long. Yeah.
Did you stay at that location until the defendant was transported?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever believe that the defendant, did you ever see any evidence that the defendant was in possession of a weapon?
I mean, the only thing that if you want to consider is that I saw was those sheer cutter things that, and for me, I think that was it.
So there was nothing on his person that you saw that would indicate he had a weapon on his person, correct?
Not to my knowledge, not after that. Oh, only like I said, that sheer like cutter thing.
That's a witness.
All right, state.
Should your honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may step down if you'll leave the square. All right, thank you. You'll raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Joel Silva.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge.
Officer Silva, how are you currently employed?
With the San Antonio Police Department,
What is your current assignment with the San Antonio Police Department?
with the Bike Patrol Unit.
How long have you been on the bike patrol unit?
I think around 12 years.
Were you on duty on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in uniform?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you patrolling solo or did you have a patrol partner?
I was patrolling with another officer. Officer Ruderman.
Are you familiar with the case under SAPD 25021726?
Yes, ma'am.
What case is that?
If it's the case that we're talking about right now.
Get involved in this case?
I was an assisting officer that day.
What does it mean to be an assisting officer?
The handling officer was dispatched, and myself and Officer Ruderman were in the area and also responded to the call.
But as an assisting officer, what are your duties or roles during a call?
Really the same as a handling officer. We're just there to ensure that the in this case the welfare check was going to be handled and there wasn't more officers needed immediately to the scene.
Do you recall whether you were dispatched or was this an officer initiated call?
It was dispatched.
Do you recall whether the call notes provided a description of the individual the call was pertaining to?
I don't recall.
Would that information be contained on the key card?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a key card up there at the state with you? Or state exhibit?
No, ma'am. No paperwork up here.
You'll just take a look at that key card and see if there is visual description information and then just let me know once you've sufficiently refreshed your memory.
Yes, ma'am. There's a description.
What is that description?
Black hoodie, wearing all black.
Did you observe someone matching that description on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am. On approach, we saw a male on top of the parking garage.
At any point when you had visual of him, did he move from the top of the parking garage?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did he go?
He went back into the parking garage as we approached, and as we were coming up to the garage, he was coming down. On that part is where the stairs/elevators are, so he was coming out of that area of the parking garage.
Okay, and as you neared the front of, well, let me back up. What was the location of the parking garage?
It was the commerce side of the River Center Mall parking garage.
You approached that location. What did you observe about this individual other than the outfit?
When he came down, he threw some stuff away. It looked like I initially thought they were bolt cutters, but he was throwing stuff away. And when I made contact with him, I asked him just to have a seat on the curb. And he kept walking toward us until I grabbed onto him and we put him in handcuffs for safety.
So you detained the individual?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this person ultimately identified as?
Timothy Fabian.
Does the name Fabian Singh sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is that?
This gentleman right here. This is the information he gave us. We're on scene, so it verified while we were there.
Did you ever put down Mr. Singh?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
So initially it was for a frisk, make sure you didn't have any weapons. And that was the reason why.
I've gone a little closer to you.
This one right here. This.
Yes.
Let me scoot up. The question was why we frisked him. For safety, for officer safety.
When you pat down Mr. Singh, did you make any, I guess, observations?
Yes, ma'am. He felt a little wet and I smelled alcohol on him.
Did you say he felt wet? Or was it his clothing that felt damp?
Yes, ma'am. I believed he had spilled something on himself.
And you smelled alcohol. Could you discern where it was emitting from?
Just his person.
Okay. Did you ever recover any alcohol from Mr. Singh?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind?
Twisted tea was just a can that was in his pocket.
Do you remember which pocket?
I believe it was his front right pocket.
Do you recall where that was in relation to where on the sweater felt wet?
Uh, just no, ma'am.
Do you recall whether the twisted tea can was cold to the touch still? Or at all?
My hands were cold already. It was cold that day, so I believe it was still pretty cold.
Do you recall whether it was open or not?
I believe it was closed, ma'am.
You recovered a pair of shears or cutters from the nearby trash can. Did you ask Mr. Singh if they were his?
Well, we saw him throw them in the trash can.
My question was, did you ask if they were his?
I don't recall if we was asked.
Okay. Do you recall whether Mr. Singh stated where he got them?
No, ma'am.
At any point during your interaction with Mr. Singh, did you determine his age?
Yes, ma'am. I believe he was 18.
Is an 18-year-old in the state of Texas permitted to possess alcohol?
No, ma'am.
What level of offense is that?
Minor in possession to class C.
So if somebody so in this situation, he was a minor in possession of alcohol, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do next?
I believe we were trying to identify him. And then we gave him a quick search of his person. And trying to gather information as far as parents, why he was here, what was he doing in the garage, that kind of stuff.
Okay, did he ever tell you where he got the alcoholic beverage from?
I believe he said it was from he paid a homeless person to get him the alcohol.
Okay, did Mr. Singh ever tell you what he was doing at the top of the parking garage?
I think he said he was looking around.
Did he ever give you a reason as to why he was downtown?
I believe so, but I don't recall the reason.
Can a minor be arrested for possessing alcohol?
Yes, ma'am.
And then when we say arrest, does that mean this person's taken to jail?
It can be a citation, but yes, it also, in lieu of the citation, we can arrest and take them straight to jail.
So what determines if somebody is given a citation versus taken to jail?
It's situational. If we can contact a parent, if we can get them somewhere safe, especially given this situation.
So in this case, what was the result? Was Mr. Singh cited or was he taken to jail for the minor possession?
He was taken to jail.
Were you equipped with body worn camera on February 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, was it operational?
I believe so.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the events on that date?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, Your Honor, state would move to admit into evidence State's Exhibit 3 for the purposes of this hearing. The defense has no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 3 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Granted.
Officer Silva, was Mr. Singh's person searched?
Yes, ma'am.
What were the results of that search?
Besides the alcohol, THC vape pens were also found on his person. I don't recall, ma'am. I think they were in his backpack.
What did you base your probable cause to search Mr. Singh on?
There's several things. So initially, I believed he was going to be an emergency detention given on the parking garage and the call saying that he was standing on top. And then when we made contact, the smell of alcohol on his person, and then finding the alcohol, so minor in possession, it just kind of developed more and more as we went on.
Do you recall observing the THC pens yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall whether they stated on them that they were Delta 9 THC?
I don't recall.
Plain State's Exhibit.
Okay, hey, that was it right there. Hey! Come here. Yo, come here. Have a seat. Sit down on the curb. Sit down on the curb. Why aren't you listening? Sure. All right, relax. I'm nervous. Sit on the curb. Good. Here. Okay. That's something that's all right. Yeah, so we don't have to we're just here to talk to you and figure out what you're doing. We're getting calls for you. We saw you up there on the way.
Excuse me. I'll get you pause for 1 second. Everyone, can you give me 2 minutes?
When asked me, I was like,
No, everything there.
Are you saying key card or T card?
Key card.
I heard because T, because we were talking about Arizona T or something like, that's not right.
Anytime I refer to it as the ID or office reserve.
Okay, sorry about that.
these for the officers?
No. Okay. Somebody accidentally was trying to eat this. And I'm like, no, it's for dogs, right? So don't do it. But they did tell me it tasted good. So I don't know what that means. It sort of looks like candy canes or something, right?
Kind of.
Yeah. All right, you may proceed.
Resuming sequence of it.
Why are you going these way? Where do you go from? Where'd you get all these from? She gave you a backpack full of beer. What are you doing in the garage? The razor? That way you're sitting down trying to get attention or what? Where's the razor at? Don't hold your pocket. You somebody take your pocket. Where do you get those from? I told you to stop. God, it's very good. I was seriously playing. Well, I'm on that down here at Robert Third. So I would just hear to that worked out, but come on that. Where's on that photo? Last thing. Actually, that's like fine. Yeah, that's all first up there. I didn't record you. You're wondering this about me. Oh, no, not really. That thing is like something else. Also very important. Possession and intent and influence. Get water on you? Oh, thanks. That was where do you have an ID and say you're now? Brett. I didn't hear you. That's the poker. That's not the way. I was trying to cause any trouble, sir. Next another little poke cup. That's good. Right there.
Officer Silva, do you know where that package that's in your hand in this video came from?
I'm not quite sure. The officer handed it to me, so I'm assuming it came from his person.
Not back, as you previously testified to, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I have the witness.
Defense?
Good afternoon, Officer Silva. Did you prepare a report based on this incident?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Given the situation, I didn't think it was necessary. Until it came back as a felony, then at that point we should have. But I wasn't aware at that time that I was gonna need to do a report.
Policy for when an officer has to write a report.
At this situation, I should have written a report.
Why didn't you?
Just didn't write one, ma'am.
Why, when you and the other officer approached the defendant, you were aggressive with him, weren't you?
I don't believe so, ma'am. I was asking him to have a seat at the curb. Didn't comply.
Well, you were yelling at him, right?
Given the distance, yes, I need to make sure he heard me.
Got to him, you and the other officer immediately grabbed his arms, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's aggressive, isn't it?
No, ma'am.
It's not aggressive to grab another individual's arm.
For safety, ma'am, we want to ensure that everybody was safe, including us and the suspect.
I understand that. But when you grab somebody else's arm that doesn't understand why, that's being aggressive, isn't it?
I don't believe so, ma'am. We did gain compliance, and once compliance was gained, there was no aggression with him.
The defendant was confused, wasn't he?
We spoke to him the whole time. I believe Officer Rudiman was doing a great job explaining to him what was going on.
Let me ask you another question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you and the other officer grabbed the defendant's arms, you hadn't told him why you were doing that, had you?
No, ma'am.
And the defendant's response to you grabbing his arms was confusing, correct?
If he was confused, that was his perspective on the situation.
So hold the microphone closer to you and speak a little more loud.
That was not our perspective from the situation, ma'am. We asked him to have a seat, and Officer Rudiman spoke to him the whole time explaining the situation.
He was asked to have a seat, he was told to have a seat, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And he was being yelled at from across the street, correct?
By a uniformed police officer, yes, ma'am.
When you were grabbing his arms, he was looking around, wasn't he?
Yes, ma'am.
At what point did you tell him why you were putting him in handcuffs?
I believe it was in the video. Officer Rudiments as we're placing him in handcuffs
Why was he placed in handcuffs?
for officer safety and his safety.
The defendant was cooperative, wasn't he?
To an extent. I mean, he didn't have a seat when we asked him to or told him to.
That's not surprising considering he didn't understand what was going on, right?
If he didn't understand, we explained to him.
Expect somebody that you scream at from across the street to just automatically do what you tell them to do?
Usually they're pretty compliant. If there's nothing going on, they're pretty compliant with us.
My questions. Do you expect somebody who you yell at across the street to just do what you tell them to do without further explanation?
Yes, ma'am. Usually the explanation comes after that.
So what's the last part you said?
The explanation usually follows up with their compliance.
Well, the defendant didn't try to run, did he?
No, ma'am.
What was? He wasn't trying to hurt himself, was he?
Don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out at that time.
When you approached him, he was not trying to hurt himself, was he?
I couldn't say if he was or wasn't, ma'am.
Me?
I couldn't say if he was or wasn't.
Just watch the video, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Did it appear to you that he was trying to hurt himself at all?
Well, standing on the ledge of a building usually entails that they're having some suicidal ideations.
That's my question. When you and the other officer approached the defendant, he was not trying to hurt himself, was he?
How do I say? I can't answer that, ma'am. Can't answer that.
You can't answer that. Why? You just watched the video.
I don't know what was going through his mind. I don't know if he had.
Ask you what was going through his mind. You didn't see him do anything that would indicate he was trying to hurt himself, did you?
My perspective was that he was already possibly trying to commit suicide.
Asking for your perspective, sir. I'm asking for what you saw with your eyes. You didn't see him do anything that indicated he was trying to hurt himself, did you?
No, ma'am. If that case, then yes, I did see him doing something that would indicate he was trying to hurt himself.
I'm sorry, officer, I cannot hear you.
I believe at the time he was possibly suicidal, ma'am. So if you're asking, then yes, I believe he was possibly trying to hurt himself.
What indication did you have? What did you see or hear as you approached him that indicated he was about to hurt himself?
Standing on the ledge of a building, coming down.
Did you see as you approached him from across the street that indicated he was right then and there about to hurt himself?
No, I don't know how to answer that, ma'am.
Why not? You just watched the video. Did
Given-
he grab his throat? Did he have a knife and try to slit his wrists?
No, ma'am.
He didn't do anything, did he?
No, ma'am.
Why did you pat the defendant down?
For safety. Ensure that he have any weapons,
What kind of weapons are you looking for?
knives, guns, anything sharp that he would possibly be able to use.
In the video, we could see you pat him down. And then you went right into the pocket on the left side of his hoodie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, why did you find it necessary to go into his pocket?
I felt the bulge in his pocket and I wasn't too sure what it was, but I believed it was going to be alcohol.
Why would you believe it was alcohol?
Given the smell,
Well, smelling of alcohol isn't a crime, is it?
if you're a minor and you smell of alcohol, you're going to be under arrest at that point. You're going to have to be released to an adult.
You were patting down for weapons.
Yes, ma'am.
It wasn't a weapon, was it?
No, ma'am.
And you didn't believe it was a weapon when you felt it, did you?
No, ma'am.
And you indicated that, strike that. There was nothing that, you didn't have any information prior to having contact with the defendant that alcohol may be involved, did you?
No, ma'am.
At what point did you smell the alcohol?
When we went hands on with him, it was smelled of alcohol on him.
But you didn't know how old he was, did you?
Given the way he looked like a minor.
You didn't know his age, did you?
No, ma'am.
So not knowing his age, why did you go into his pocket if you thought it might be alcohol?
Because I believe at that time he was a minor and he was possibly suicidal, and either he was going to be in emergency detention or public intox.
What does being suicidal or thinking he might be suicidal have to do with whether that was alcohol or not?
We would search his person regardless if he was in emergency detention or if he was going to be under arrest.
But he wasn't suicidal, was he? He wasn't doing anything, right? You just said that.
Even if he was, the arrest would have come first before taking him to the hospital. For public intox, minor in possession, the vape pens, even if we determined he was suicidal, he still would have been under arrest.
Was he under arrest?
For me, I would have, if it was my case, I probably would have placed him under arrest once I smelled the alcohol on his person. Given the situation, I probably would have been safe to say that I would have either taken him for a PI, and then developing further minor in possession.
What point was the defendant under arrest?
As soon as he was in handcuffs, if it was my case, I would have placed him under arrest.
Say that.
If it was my case, if I was handling it, I would have placed him under arrest as soon as we put him in handcuffs.
I don't know why are you saying if this was my case? You were there, sir, right?
I wasn't the handling officer. I wasn't the arresting officer.
So what is your understanding then of when he was under arrest?
I believe once we developed enough probable cause that he was intoxicated, that it was enough to arrest him on.
At what point was that?
I believe I already answered that, ma'am.
Let's just answer the question.
As soon as I placed him in handcuffs.
So you believe that as soon as you put him in handcuffs, he was under arrest, and that gave you the right to search him?
Yes, ma'am.
What was he under arrest for?
I think he was placed under arrest for minor possession and then the vape pens.
Sir, at the time you put the handcuffs on him, you had not found any alcohol, had you?
No, ma'am.
So how could he be under arrest for minor in possession if
Public
you had
intox.
alcohol yet?
Public intox.
I'm sorry, what?
Public intoxication.
You just said he had no outward appearances of intoxication.
I don't believe I said that, ma'am.
What outward appearances of intoxication did he have?
The non-compliance, the his speaking sounded off to me. The smell of alcohol on his person.
What is the definition, the legal definition of public intoxication?
The inability to care for themselves, ma'am. So it would pose a danger to themselves or others. Um, really, that's what I would go with public intox.
How is he a danger to himself?
He's standing on the ledge of a building.
You don't know that, do you?
I observed him on the building.
He's sticking right there.
Yes, ma'am.
He made no attempt to jump though, did he?
I don't know if that was his attempt to jump and he just didn't do it. That's
It's just should be made, right?
yes, ma'am.
He told you he had no indication that he was gonna hurt himself, right?
We get told that most of the time.
It's not my question, sir. He told you that he was down there, that he was up on the roof for the view, and he had a laser pointer and that he was waiting for his friends. Do you remember that?
Given my experience as a police officer, ma'am,
Overrule.
You remember him telling you that?
yes, ma'am.
So if an individual is suicidal and smells of alcohol, you automatically arrest them.
Emergency detention or arrest.
This defendant did not require emergency detention, did he?
Well, we went with the charges. I believe the handling officer went with the charges in lieu of the emergency detention.
Once you detained him, there was no reason for an emergency detention as far as being impaired, correct?
Repeat that, ma'am.
Once you detained him, there was no reason to detain him further for reasons of mental health issues, correct?
Well, that's the whole reason we were there.
Pardon?
That was the whole reason we were there initially, was for someone possibly willing to jump or wanting to jump.
Detained him. There was no further indication that he needed to be further detained for mental health reasons, correct?
We still had to investigate that, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
We were still investigating that.
When you placed him in handcuffs and arrested him, what crime had he committed?
Public intox.
There was no evidence of him trying to harm anybody else prior to that, was there?
No, ma'am.
And at the time that you arrested him, he wasn't trying to hurt himself, was he?
Yes, ma'am.
At the time, at the moment you put those handcuffs on him, there
Oh,
was no indication that he was trying to hurt himself, right?
the indication would have been standing on the ledge, but at the moment when we placed him in handcuffs, we were investigating if he was going to be suicidal, if he was trying to go up there and hurt himself.
Question is, time you arrested him, what you said was when you put the handcuffs on him, he was not acting suicidal, correct?
It's hard to say, ma'am, because we were still investigating that. We were still talking to him to try to develop more information.
But before you developed any more information, there was no evidence that he was suicidal, correct?
How do you determine evidence of being suicidal?
It's your job.
You're asking me the question, so I'm trying to understand what you're asking.
Said basically that you arrested him so that you could determine whether he was suicidal. So you arrested him without him having committed a crime, right?
Emergency detained him. Yes. Given that he was on the ledge, we had a credible person calling in, giving information. We observed him on the rooftop of the parking garage. I believed at that time that yes, he was possibly suicidal. It's not normal behavior to stand on the ledge of a rooftop of a parking garage.
And why did you arrest this defendant?
He was
Why was, I'm sorry, let me rephrase. The defendant was arrested for minor possession. Why?
he was a minor in possession of alcohol.
Well, it's a Class C misdemeanor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not usually punishable by incarceration, is it?
It can be.
It can be.
It's the officer's discretion if he wants to issue a citation or arrest.
What is the punishment for a Class C misdemeanor?
I believe it's a fine up to $500 and a year in jail.
Yeah.
Years, something like that. Yes, ma'am.
If a Class C misdemeanor is not punishable by any type of incarceration, would you still have a legal reason to arrest him?
I believe, me personally, I would not have released him. I would have rather had him go with a parent or someone that was to take care of him.
Talking about legally. If a minor in possession being a Class C misdemeanor is not punishable by incarceration, why would you arrest him?
For his safety.
Can you be arrested for your safety?
Ma'am, if it was a choice to release him to a parent or give him a citation, I wouldn't feel comfortable just giving him a citation and releasing him into the streets.
Or did anybody attempt to call his mother?
We attempted to gather information. Yes, ma'am.
Did anybody attempt to call his mother?
I don't believe anybody was able to get information enough to contact a parent.
You don't know that for sure, though, do you?
No, ma'am. I don't recall if anybody was.
Now, according to the video that we just saw, his backpack was also searched, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why was that?
Everything on his property can be searched upon arrest. So his backpack, his person, everything was searched.
Past witness.
Any further questions?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. You remove the square.
Yes.
All right.